Anna Educational Center YouTube channel. இந்த சேனலை சப்ஸ்கிரைப் பண்ணுங்க, பெல் பட்டனை கிளிக் பண்ணுங்க, எங்க வீடியோஸ் உடனே கிடைக்கும். எங்க சேனல் பிடிச்சிருந்தா லைக் பண்ணுங்க, ஷேர் பண்ணுங்க. நன்றி. வாங்க வீடியோக்குள்ள போலாம்.
Hi children, hope all of you are fine. Today we are going to discuss question number 2 in exercise 2.3. I will read the question for you. Check whether the first polynomial is a factor of the second polynomial by dividing the second polynomial by the first polynomial. So let us take the second polynomial as p of x as we did in the first question, and the first polynomial as g of x. Now we are going to check whether the given first polynomial is a factor of the second polynomial. I will give you one example from numbers so that you will understand this properly. If you take the number 6, you know that the factors of 6 are 2 and 3. Why do you say that 2 and 3 are factors of 6? Because when you divide those numbers, the remainder is 0. That is why you say that 2 and 3 are factors of 6. Similarly, here also, if we have to say that g of x is a factor of p of x, when you divide p of x by g of x, the remainder should become 0. So what we are going to check by dividing is, we are going to check whether the remainder becomes 0. If the remainder becomes 0, then we can say that the given first polynomial is a factor of the second polynomial. Otherwise, if the remainder does not become 0, then we should say that the first polynomial is not a factor of the second polynomial. So we will move into the problems. We are going to discuss question number 2 in exercise 2.3 in our NCERT book. I will read the first question for you. T squared minus 3 comma 2t power 4 plus 3t cube minus 2t squared minus 9t minus 12. So in this question, p of x is 2t power 4 plus 3t cube minus 2t squared minus 9t minus 12, and your g of x will be t squared plus 0t minus 3. I explained you yesterday, but that if you have a missing term, then you have to substitute it with the coefficient 0. That is why we have t squared plus 0t minus 3. Now when you divide p of x by g of x, when you compare the first term in the dividend and the divisor, in the dividend you have 2t power 4 and in the divisor you have t square. So when you compare 2t squared into t squared is 2t power 4. I have done that rough work in the side for you to see. Now, so since we can see that 2t squared into t squared only will give you 2t power 4, we are going to multiply the entire divisor by 2t squared. When you multiply the entire divisor by 2t squared into t squared will be 2t power 4. 2t squared plus into 0t will be 0t cube. 2t squared into minus 3 will be minus 6t squared. So when you subtract, that t power 4 term will get cancelled. 3t cube minus 0t cube will be same 3t cube, minus 2t squared plus 6t squared will be plus 4t squared. Now you have to bring down the next term, that is minus 9t. Again you compare this 3t cube with the t squared. You can see that 3t into t squared will give you 3t cube. So we are going to multiply the divisor by 3t. So when you multiply, you will get 3t into t squared is 3t cube, 3t into 0t is 0t squared, 3t into minus 3 is minus 9t. When you subtract, 3t cube minus 3t cube will become 0, 4t squared minus 0t squared is same 4t squared, minus 9t plus 9t will become 0, it will get cancelled. So you are left alone with 4t squared, bring down that minus 12, the final term. Now when you compare again, you have to find out how many times you will have to multiply that t squared to get 4t squared. You can see that 4 into t squared is 4t squared. So now we are going to multiply the entire divisor by 4. 4 into t squared is 4t squared. The middle term is not necessary, so no need to multiply. minus 3 into 4 will give you minus 12. When you change the symbols and add, you can see that the remainder becomes 0. As I said, now you can see that the remainder is 0. Therefore, you can say that g of x is a factor of p of x. That is, t squared minus 3 is a factor of 2t power 4 plus 3t cube minus 2t squared minus 9t minus 12. I will do the third subdivision for you. In the third subdivision, p of x is x power 5 minus 4x cube plus x squared plus 3x plus 1. G of x is x cube minus 3x plus 1. So when we are going to write in the division, you are going to write p of x as x power 5 plus 0x power 4 minus 4x cube plus x squared plus 3x plus 1. And you are going to write the divisor as x cube plus 0x squared minus 3x plus 1. Now you have to find out how many times you have to multiply that first term x cube in the divisor to get x power 5. So you can see that x squared into x cube is x power 5. So I am going to multiply the entire divisor by x squared. X squared into x cube will give you x power 5. X squared into 0x squared will give you 0x power 4. X squared into minus 3x will give you minus 3x cube. X squared into 1 will give you x squared. So when you subtract, x power 5 term will get cancelled. 0x power 4, 0x power, no use of that, so you can cancel it. Then the first term which has a value is the minus 4x cube plus 3x cube. So when you subtract, since you have changed the symbol, finally you will get minus x cube. X squared minus x squared will get cancelled. Then you bring down the next term, that is 3x. Now, as I thought in yesterday's session, you have to see that there are 3 terms having coefficients in the divisor. So here also you need one more term. So as I thought you can put 0x there and bring down one more term, that is that 1 also. Now you have x cube plus 3x plus 1. When you compare with the divisor, minus 1 into x cube will give you minus x cube. So you are going to multiply the entire divisor by minus 1. So you will get minus x cube, minus 1 into x cube is minus x cube, minus 1 into minus 3x is plus 3x, minus 1 into plus 1 is minus 1. Now when you subtract, you change the symbols, then you can see that minus x cube gets cancelled, 3x gets cancelled, but you will have 1 plus 1 is 2. Now the remainder is not 0, you can see that the remainder is 2. Only if the remainder is 0, then it is a factor. So in this case, g of x is not a factor of p of x. That is, x squared minus 3x plus 1 is not a factor of the polynomial p of x, which is x power 5 minus 4x cube plus x squared plus 3x plus 1. I hope you understand. You understood how to check whether a given polynomial is a factor of another polynomial. So we will meet in another session tomorrow. Take care.